What's going on, everybody? Khalipa's Tech here, coming back at you with another video. This is camera tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy A73 5G. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks for this phone to help you get more familiar with the camera and its features. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about this phone, be sure to check out my full review of it as well. But with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is a quick way you can open your camera. Now, opening the camera app is easy enough, but say you're doing something else on your phone where you're not on the home screen. Like for example, you're in an app or something like that. In a situation like that, this feature is going to give you much faster and easier access to your camera, so you won't miss a moment you want to capture. Now, this feature is activated by default, so you don't actually have to do anything to enable it. All you need to do is double press your power key, just like this. And as you can see, the camera opens right up, and this works no matter where you are on the phone. So if you're on an app like Instagram, for example, and you want to quickly open your camera, all you got to do is double press your power key, and there we go. Real fast and easy. And this actually even works when your display is off. So as you can see, the screen is locked right now, but if we double press the power key, it's going to open the camera right up. So definitely a nice feature to have. Now, of course, this shortcut is great and all, but what if you don't actually use the camera app to take your photos? There are plenty of real good alternate camera apps, or maybe you even want to use Snapchat instead to capture a quick moment. Well, with the Samsung Galaxy A73 5G, you can actually use this same shortcut to open those apps as well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to Settings. From here, go to Advanced Features. From this menu, go to Side Key. And as you can see, by default, double pressing the power key is going to open the camera, but you can also have it open pretty much any other app you want. So if you go here, it's going to allow you to select whatever app you want on the phone. So for example, if you want to use Snapchat, now if you double press the power key, instead of the camera app, it's going to open Snapchat instead. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to use the macro camera for close-up images. So we are in the camera app right now, and what you're going to want to do is go to More. And as you can see, macro mode is right here. Tap on the icon. And now we are in macro mode, and you can get those nice close-up detailed images. Now, one thing to keep in mind, when you are done with macro mode, be sure to exit out of it. Otherwise, when you try to take a normal photo, it's going to be blurry. The next thing I'm going to show you is the complete opposite of the macro camera, and that is the ultrawide camera. Now, the ultrawide camera is actually even easier to access. From the main camera screen, you're going to want to go to the 0.5 right here, tap on this. And now we are in ultrawide mode where you can get a lot more content in the frame. This is real useful for stuff like group photos, scenery things. Maybe you want to get a photo of a larger room or building. The list really goes on. And at 12 megapixels, this ultrawide camera is great quality, so it's definitely a nice feature to have. Now, to get out of the ultrawide camera, there are two different ways to do it, both of them being equally easy. The first thing you can do is simply pinch like this. And as you can see, we're back to normal. Or you could also just hit the 1 right here. And again, as you can see, we're back to normal. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take a burst photo. Now, this feature essentially allows you to take up to 30 photos at once. So taking a burst photo is a real easy thing to do. All you got to do is swipe down on the shutter like this. And again, you can hold it up to 30. Now when it's done, go to Photos. And as you can see, we do have 30 photos we took here. And now you can see every photo taken in the burst shot. Now, burst photos are cool, but you can also use that same motion to make a GIF image instead. To do this, you're going to go to Settings. And from here, under Pictures, by default, it's going to say swipe shutter button to take a burst shot. Tap on here. Select Create GIF. And now if we go back to the camera, swipe down on the shutter one more time. And again, it does go up to 30. Now if we go to the photos, as you can see, it did make a GIF image instead of a burst shot. The next thing I'm going to show you is a feature called Floating Shutter Button. This basically allows you to move your shutter button somewhere else on the screen. So if you're taking a selfie with one hand, for example, it'll make the shutter a lot easier to reach. Now you can technically enable this from the settings, but the easier way to do it is simply by dragging the shutter wherever you want it on the screen. So like this, for example, and now you can use it just like a normal shutter. And once you're done with it and you want to get rid of it, simply drag it right back to where it was before. And that's pretty much it. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take high efficiency photos and videos. This basically allows you to take photos and videos in smaller file types. And if you're taking lots of photos and videos, this can save you a lot of space. So to do this, go to Settings up here. And now there are two different things to enable. For pictures, go right here to high efficiency pictures. With this on, instead of JPGs, every photo you take is going to be an HEIF file instead. This file is a little bit smaller, so if you're taking lots of photos, it will save you quite a bit of space. Now for videos, go to the video section and toggle on reduce file size. With this on, instead of an MP4, your videos are now going to be in HEVC files instead. Now one thing to keep in mind is that with these files, depending on what you're using your photos and videos for, there might be some compatibility issues, but keep in mind most flagship phones nowadays do have these features enabled by default, so if you're using your photos and videos for regular purposes like social media for example, or if you're putting them straight into an editor or something like that, then you should be completely fine. The next thing I'm going to show you is what you can do with your volume keys. So by default, if you press either of the volume keys, it's going to take a picture. So it doesn't matter if it's the volume up or the volume down, it's basically like a physical shutter button. Pretty cool, but we do have a couple options here. So if we go to the settings, from here, go to shooting methods. And as you can see, again, this is the default option, but you can also have it zoom in or out or control the system volume. So for example, we're going to choose zoom in or out. Now if we go back to the camera, if I press the volume up button, it's going to zoom in, and volume down is going to zoom out. So definitely pretty cool. Now I personally like to leave it at the default setting, but of course there's no right or wrong. It's really going to be up to your personal preference. You can even have it change the system volume if you really want to, but regardless, it is nice that we get some different options. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change the aspect ratio of your photos. So as you can see right now, by default, we are in 3:4, and no matter what phone you get, it's pretty much going to be the same thing. When it comes to smartphones, 3:4 is pretty much the typical default aspect ratio, but if you want, you can also change it by tapping the icon right here, and we can go to 9:16. So as you can see, we are now in 9:16, or if you go sideways, it's going to be 16:9, which is perfect for stuff like video thumbnails, for example. We can also go to 1:1. So if you want to take a photo for Instagram, for example, this is definitely a nice thing to have. And then from here, we can also go to full, which is the aspect ratio of the entire screen. And in the case of this phone, that's going to be 20:9. Now if we go back here, we also have another option of 3:4 at 108 megapixels. And basically this is going to use the entire power of the camera, which is going to give you a real high quality photo. Now keep in mind, although the photo is going to be much higher quality than normal, this will take up quite a bit more space. The next thing I'm going to show you is a feature called motion photos. Now, as the name suggests, you're going to want to use this if you're taking a photo of something in motion, like for example, a bird flying, a car moving, something like that. And this is going to allow you to capture something in motion without it being one giant blur. Now, this feature is not activated by default, but turning it on is really easy. It's just this icon right here. So tap this. And now when it's highlighted like that, motion photo is on. So if I take a picture and go to photos, essentially, this is what a motion photo looks like, and if we go here, you can see the whole thing. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is how to change your video resolution. Now with this phone, you can record some real high quality videos with a max quality of 4K at 30 frames per second in both the rear and front cameras. But this is not the default resolution. By default, you will be recording in 1080p at 30 frames per second, so let me show you how to change it. So first things first, of course, we're going to go to video mode. And right next to the aspect ratio, we got the quality right here. So in case you don't know, FHD or Full HD is basically 1080p, but if we tap here, you can also go to HD, which is 720p. From here, we can also go to Full HD or again 1080p at 60 frames per second. And when you're recording a video like this at a higher frame rate, it's going to be a little bit smoother. So if you're doing something in slow motion, for example, 60 frames per second is the one you're going to want. And then finally from here, we can go to Ultra HD, also known as 4K, at 30 frames per second. Now honestly, it's too bad that we can't record videos in 4K at 60 frames per second, because again, if you want to record a slow motion video, for example, with this phone, unfortunately, you're really going to be limited to 1080p because that's the resolution that has the higher frame rate. But then again, at least this phone can record 4K videos, and for most situations, 30 frames per second is going to be perfectly fine anyway. But those were my camera tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy A73 5G. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found these tips and tricks useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. But that's it for this video. As always, I will see you in the next one.